I've never seen Lucy more excited than when the JFK assassination came up after our college football segment this week, and she just was like, "Oh my God, have you ever been to the JFK Museum? It's crazy." Yeah, what's going on?
That is an awesome museum. I don't know if anyone has been. That is such a good museum.
I have not been, but I'm totally in on talking JFK assassination. I love history shit.
Assassination.
They're
playing both sides.
So I haven't been inside the museum, but when I went to Dallas for the Cotton Bowl, I went to they have, like you mentioned earlier, they marked off like on the street with an X where he was assassinated, so you can see it. And it's like a historical site. There's a plaque up and everything. So we went there, but the museum had just closed. And we were only there for like 2 days for the Cotton Bowl, so I didn't get a chance to go back. But I've always wanted to go to the museum because I've heard it's a great museum.
It is a really, really good museum. I went when Iowa played in the Final Four. That was in Dallas. The line to get in was so crazy long, but that was the only recommendation people gave me for Dallas. They were like, you have to go see the JFK Museum. The white X where JFK was shot and killed, it's just on a road that you drive over. Like, we drove over it like 4 or 5 times. I think you take it to like get on the interstate.
It's right by an interchange. Yeah, like onto the highway.
It would be like we just drive over it and someone was like, this was before I went to the museum. They're like, oh, that was where JFK was shot. And I was like, where? They're like, what we just drove over. Which I'm like, I feel weird that we're like allowed to drive over that. But the museum itself,
probably
very
the
cool.
most famous plaza in history, though, right?
Dealey Plaza.
Dealey Plaza.
Can you give us a top 5 plazas?
That's the first thing I thought about, and I'm like, I am not that lame.
The hotel.
Wow.
Hotel.
The Plaza Hotel in New York, right?
That's all I got.
That's a
I was
Dealey
waiting
Plaza.
for fanfare.
I was looking for it, but I don't have it on this page. I was gonna fire off this for conspiracy.
Ooh.
And I was going to do a top 5 conspiracy, but I'm not Tony, and I don't really know that many.
They have an entire section at the museum dedicated to conspiracy theories. Which I'm like, is that allowed at a museum?
Well, isn't having a museum that basically commemorates a guy's death in the city where he died kind of weird to begin with? Little interesting, but little weird.
I think so, because he was a president who was assassinated. I feel like if it was like someone, not quite as important, it'd be maybe a little morbid. But there's also places where famous people die that turn into like kind of pseudo memorials, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is a memorial in a way.
Yeah.
But isn't that, I guess if it's a memorial, it's not bad.
It doesn't feel like a memorial though, because you'll go up and you go up to the 6th floor where Lee Harvey Oswald took the shot
At the school book depository?
Yeah, and they block off the area where he actually took the shot, which
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And they have on the little screens there a live action reenactment of it's animated
Of what allegedly happened?
of him allegedly getting shot.
Okay,
No, he got shot.
He got shot.
He got
Do you
shot.
guys remember?
Yeah, I think that's not alleged.
Yeah,
That
that's not
happened.
alleged.
There was a random day on Twitter 2 years ago when Darren Ravel just tweeted the Zapruder film footage unedited, and people were just scrolling Twitter and they were like, what the this is so disturbing. Do you remember this?
The Zapruder film?
Yes, it was just one of the, I don't know.
This just goes to show you that Twitter is loaded with uneducated young people that don't know what that is or how.
No,
it
people
happened.
knew what it was. It's just
yes.
have you ever watched it?
Yeah,
It's
his
very
head gets
jarring
blown
to
off.
watch
Yeah, it
someone's
is.
head explode. And it was just on Twitter with no, I don't know. It was just very weird that he tweeted it one day.
I get what you're
and
saying.
I was just
but-
scrolling, reading a lot of bullshit. And all of a sudden I was like, what the fuck?
That's
Why did he
JFK's
tweet
head
this?
exploding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Happy anniversary or
It's
something.
super disturbing. Yeah, because, Jared Barrett.
I'm watching it right now, and I don't like it.
You've never seen this Zapruder film?
Yeah, you don't like a person's head exploding.
You've never seen it?
Murder on live film.
I don't know what I expected.
Yeah,
But murder.
It's
I'm
pretty
surprised you haven't
graphic.
seen-
I
Yeah,
think
oh,
a
no,
lot of
super
people have
graphic.
seen edited versions and not realized it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
one of
ever
them.
see Oliver Stone's
JFK.
JFK?
1991.
I'm not sure that I did.
Oh,
Really?
man, great movie.
I think JFK conspiracy theorydom is something that I definitely personally have never gotten that into, but I don't know a lot of people who are that into it. I feel
What?
I don't. I outside
It's
of
a
Mike
pretty
Fuentes.
mainstream conspiracy.
Well, that's why,
is.
right? Is it's like it feels like it's just like, oh, that's the conspiracy. Like we
Why
all
was Lee
sort of
Harvey
kind
Oswald
of
in
know
Mexico
about.
City?
It's the only one,
Yeah.
honestly, of all the conspiracy theories that are out there. And like, man, the conspiracy theories have a time during the pandemic. Everything was a conspiracy. A lot of people are still like that. But that's the only one I can kind of get behind just because of how grimy like the CIA was in the 60s and 70s. Like a lot of foul shit. So are we really going to put it past them to do this? Like, that's why
We're
I
on
can
the
get
up and
behind
up
it.
now.
Isn't
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson
So much better
connected
today.
to it in
Yeah,
some way? I
his
think
dad was potentially an assassin.
Killed JFK?
And also might be
Yeah, Woody
Matthew
Harrelson did
McConaughey's
that.
dad.
Yeah.
They might
That
be
part
Well,
too.
but that's crazy that
Just take a paternity
that Woody
test.
Harrelson's dad was actually a killer, and that like I don't know about there's no way he was. There's no way he's McConaughey's brother.
Did you just talk yourself out of it? And
Yeah,
he
it's
did.
like because I was
which
like
part that he killed JFK or that he's
no,
Matthew
I know
McConaughey's
I know
brother?
he killed a judge or something,
Yeah.
but I know he's not
Allegedly.
McConaughey's brother.
Hmm.
But it's for those that don't know, the conspiracy theory was that the CIA worked with the mafia and they were all like mad about the Bay of Pigs, and all these old CIA guys got really pissed off because he was making a deal with the Russians and blah blah blah.
That's one of the conspiracies.
That's one of them. There's a ton of them.
If you watch Oliver Stone's JFK, a movie that has been mostly debunked. A lot of it has been debunked.
Still a
It
good
took
movie,
a lot
though.
of liberties.
Yeah.
It is a good movie, and if you take it at face value, you're like, holy shit.
This is crazy.
The government killed JFK, which is what I did when I saw it as a young person with
J. Edgar
very
Hoover.
little media literacy. I was like, wow, why doesn't anyone talk about this? And then I
LBJ was
found
behind
out
it the whole
it's
time.
not a documentary. Yeah. But it's an entertaining but flawed film, I think is fair to say.
The best way to put it.
But yeah, I think, I'm not surprised that there's it would be very incomplete for the JFK Museum at Dealey Plaza to not have a conspiracy theory exhibit.
I loved the gift shop there. I was like, should I get some JFK memorial earrings? They were so expensive, but I would have
How
done it.
expensive
I need to
is
see these.
that?
They were like, I think they were like 60 plus.
What?
Yeah, well, you know how expensive gift shops are.
That is so
but
expensive.
they were like, yeah, get your JFK memorial earrings. And I was like, that's a hilarious
I wish we had
That's
Price
such a good
Price is
bit.
right that.
All right.
Price is
$1.
right that.
It was crazy.
There is nothing
was
more-
It called the Sixth Floor Museum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I found earrings. Are they like with balls?
I can't remember.
Okay, so I
Those
found
are
this,
balls.
and Jason's gonna grab it for us. And I don't know. No, these are only 35. It can't be them. So, wow. What were you saying, Jeremy?
I really enjoyed the Mike Fuentes Googles for a minute, and we try to figure out portion of Mystery Crate. I don't really remember what I was gonna say, so this doesn't really help anybody. But I think that.
Sorry,
Oh no, I know what it is. There's nothing to me. There really is nothing more uniquely American than a business being made off of the assassination of one of our presidents. Like we have an assassinated president in JFK, and it's like, all right, let's build up a museum and have people
Right.
come through the gift shop.
Yeah, capitalism.
Perfect.
Yeah.
His bust
yeah, I
is
mean-
hideous there. He looks real. They did my guy dirty.
It's like a Ronaldo bust.
Yeah, he looks
that's how
ugly.
they did him
The
dirty.
Caitlin
Huh?
Clark
Yeah.
Butters.
Yeah, that's how they did it. I made so many inappropriate jokes because Iowa, the women's basketball team, had lost the national championship the next day. I was having a rough time.
Was it a lot of jokes about like shooters and
Yeah.
these guys wouldn't miss and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Yeah.
Lots of
I'm with
jokes.
you.
Not
Yeah,
great.
it's a good joke.
No.
They were really funny in the group chat.
So, quick question. I don't know what conspiracy theories you guys know off the top of your head, but like, I can't even think of one that's
Tony's
even
not here.
exactly. If he
Yeah,
was here, he'd be a
Tony's-
gold
So
mine.
I got fed a TikTok debunking the pyramid conspiracy theory that Tony has been touting for the last like 6 months.
The Wi-Fi
And I
one?
think TikTok knows that I've just been generally like around conspiracy theorists because like our phones are talking to one another. And it's like, here's what you should say next time that guy at work brings up the thing about the aliens building the pyramids and them having Wi-Fi. And I appreciate TikTok for that.
Thanks, TikTok.
I think Princess Diana is my biggest one. The idea that she didn't just die in an accident, that
That
it
the
was
Queen had her
on
killed?
purpose. Yeah, that they
was
had her
absolutely-
killed.
I didn't even know that was
Is-
a conspiracy. I thought
right.
that was true.
Well, there we go,
She was
right?
chased.
Like it's that part of it where it's when does the conspiracy become reality when enough people have heard it? And I feel like Princess Diana is a top tier one there. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about the truth of that story.
The problem
Neither
is that
do I.
conspiracy theories have been largely ruined by people that believe in the really bad ones now. And it used to be fun to
Totally.
talk about the JFK assassination conspiracies and Princess Diana. I mean,
It used to be
neither's
fun.
like
It
fun
was.
really, but people would be like, wow, what if there are other powers at play here that we don't know about. And now it's like most conspiracy theories lead back to like some really anti-Semitic shit.
Yeah, see, this is the problem. I often, or I used to be someone who loved going down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole. If someone said, oh, we'll just watch this YouTube video, it'll be really interesting. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, there's like, oh, isn't there there's like a concentration camp underneath the Denver airport? Isn't that one?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Nuclear bunker.
Nuclear bunker, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, so those types of things, right? Hey, go watch this YouTube video because there's this crazy conspiracy. And I used to think that was a super cool concept and something I really enjoyed. And now anytime that somebody comes to me with like, oh, hey, I thought this conspiracy theory was cool, I immediately, unfortunately, write them off in every single way. Yeah, it's terrible. And I wish that wasn't the case. We should all be able to conspiratorially theorize together. And I don't like that that's been taken away from us. Hijacked just like the American flag.
Right.
I have something that I want to share with all of you guys.
Wait, before you do it, I got to support Tony for a second because we're talking about Tony's conspiracy theories and we're making fun of him and all
My
that.
man has triangles pulled up on the screen.
I did see this the other day in Antarctica. All right, we're going to have Jason put it up on screen for us. And they said that, because of like the snow caps melting, et cetera, they found these pyramids in Antarctica.
Cool.
I'm not saying anything, but Tony might have a win coming his way pretty soon.
Let's Google this.
Does that
and
mean
debunk
they
it
had
in 5
Wi-Fi
seconds.
or?
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be a mountain, but it looks pyramid shaped. And now I feel bad for interrupting Jessica because this is probably not as interesting as what she was going to say.
According to CBS News, Occam's razor, the idea that the simplest explanation is usually the right one points to a far more mundane cause. Those steep pyramid-like sides are likely the work of hundreds of millions of years of erosion.
Exactly
Probably
what they
just
want
a
you to
triangular shape.
That's crazy.
mountain.
Exactly what they want you to think.
That
That's
looks like a
crazy.
pyramid.
That's crazy.
It's good to be skeptical. It's good to have healthy skepticism about things, but it's also good to use some common sense sometimes, Mike Fuentes.
Well, common sense is not
Look,
common,
I
Jessica.
just wanted to give Tony a
Thank
little
you,
bit
Roy.
of... You got to feed his like ego. Otherwise, he'll like close in and then you won't get the content from him like about Wi-Fi.
Do you think he's going to listen to this?
Probably not.
I like the conspiracy theory that Paul McCartney died in the 60s and they replaced him with a body double.
I saw that.
Body double conspiracy
Those are
theories
my favorite.
are intriguing. The Avril
Avril
Lavigne
Lavigne.
one is probably the most famous to me. But I don't...
The other ones are pretty complicated.
But why? But like, why would people have... Like, why would Avril Lavigne, of all people, have a body double?
That's what makes it
It's
perfect.
complicated.
That's right. Well, you laughed at that one?
I don't know what you're talking
It was
about.
the delivery, Jer Bear, honestly.
It
She
was.
nailed that.
No idea who she is.
You don't know who Avril Lavigne is?
No.
She was a
This is not the most surprising revelation. This happens to Roy all
No,
the time.
but come on,
Yeah.
man. I feel like sometimes there's a purposeful avoiding of these topics in pop culture where it's not just this didn't reach my vein of pop culture, but a purposeful I don't want to pay attention to what's going on here because I don't want to be able to answer questions. Is that true? Like, do you just if something comes across your screen, are you avoiding anything that has to do with, I say modern, anything in pop culture in the last 20 years on purpose?
No, this has not reached my vein of pop culture. I have no idea who she is because I never heard her music.
Have you heard of
Skater
the
Boy?
Jonas Brothers?
I mean, I heard their names, but I never
What are their
listened to a single
names?
song. Jonas.
That's
He got you with that one. He got you with that one.
First names.
That's pretty good.
There you go.
Isn't there a Joe somewhere?
Yeah.
2 more to go.
That's Nick?
Yeah.
You're not
No,
gonna
you're
get
not
the third
getting
one.
the
No,
third.
no.
There's actually a fourth, and you're not going to get that
Yeah,
one.
the elusive third
Aw.
The
brother.
fourth is like the
man.
middle Manning brother.
Yeah.
Archie.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Can Amin name all the Jonases?
Yeah.
I mean, knows
would-
pop
I mean, can you
culture.
name
Yeah.
all the Jonas Brothers?
Yeah, name all 4.
There's 4 of them.
That's what I thought.
So the reason why was because I was playing Heads Up yesterday, and
Heads up, like the
Yeah.
Okay.
great game, love
Great
that
game.
game.
I love that game too.
So the hint was, it's not Nick, it's not Joe, and I was like, all right, those are the only 2 I know. And so I learned that the third one is called Kevin, but now I'm learning there's a 4th one.
Justice
Kevin.
for Kevin, man. Poor
All
Kevin.
right. Do
Kevin
we have
Jonas.
any final guesses on the 4th one?
Sounds like a power forward.
I don't know the name of the.
Oh, I
fourth
know the
one.
Oh,
fourth
man,
Josh.
I do too.
Raheem.
Radio?
Nope.
Ryan.
Radio Raheem Jonas.
Not a bad name.
The 4th one is Frankie Jonas.
Mhm.
And he has made his like career on being like the left out one. Like that's his whole like TikTok and
The
everything.
only
He's
one
like, you
born
guys
without
forget
musical
about me.
talent.
Frankie is the name of someone who would do that. Like Frankie Jonas.
No, I feel like Frankie's in the mix. I feel like
No.
I feel
Frankie's
like
in the
Kevin
mix.
Jonas is the one that's like, oh,
They host a
forgets about
show
me.
on ABC together.
Yeah, the two
What?
two
ABC
cast off Jonas
Yeah,
Brothers.
The television network?
Yeah.
What
Mhm.
show?
It's
The American
I think
Broadcasting Company?
It's like a show for celebrity relatives.
It's called Claim to Fame.
Oh, I saw a clip
Oh,
from the show
I have
because
seen this,
wasn't
yeah.
it like Tom
No.
Hanks's cousin or something
Yeah.
was on it and she like made a fool of herself?
I've seen trailers for this show.
Brett
Yes.
Favre's
The
daughter,
12 people
allegedly.
that are invited
What?
to the house are not famous themselves, but are related to someone who is
Yeah.
famous,
You
And
know
they have to
what?
Try to guess.
which
I'll
is
allow
great for the two of them to host it. I feel bad for Kevin, though, right? Because it makes sense that Frankie Jonas would host this, but Kevin's in the band. For
Yeah,
Kevin to
but
be in the
he's
band and still be,
barely in the
you're
band.
related to famous
He's
people.
barely
No,
in
it
the
makes
band.
sense though because the gist of the show is there's like one person who's tangential to fame and you have to guess who the
Oh,
famous
Oh, so the
person
argument is
So
that
the
Kevin
host-
is
That's
famous.
both sides of
Kevin's
the coin.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
The Jonas coin.
I just made that up, but
No, I mean like I'm sure that's how they pitched it to Kevin.
Right.
Probably.
Right, it's how they pitch it to Kevin,
Hey,
but not
you're
Frankie.
a loser and no one knows why you're
Yeah.
famous, and so is your stupid brother. Come host our show.
It's
Yeah,
perfect.
no, they
Christ.
probably didn't do it that way.
Mean.
At least Frankie
That's
seems
not what I
to
was saying,
get
by the
why
way. Okay.
he's
Yeah, nice
Hypothetical
person.
executive was saying.
Yeah, you're a nice person. You wouldn't say that anyway.
Frankie at least seems to get it in being the little brother that he isn't really famous or wanted to be famous. He has his own, I recently saw he put out his own EP and half of the premise of it was just like, listen to this if you like my brothers. Like he understands that the only reason he has any sort of fame is because he is who he is, which I kind of like.
It's like Tito
name-
Jackson coming out with a record.
Yeah.
The name of the
No,
album is
because-
Sewer Rat.
Because Tito was
What?
Tito was in the 5, right?
Yeah, he was in the
Tree.
5, yeah.
No, you got to pick one. Reby. It was like
Right,
Reby.
someone on
had
the other
it.
side.
Reby.
Yeah,
It's like
outside of it.
LaToya.
Well, Latoya got famous, you know.
Yeah, for another reason. See?
That wasn't me.
Oh.
Well, Roy, I asked you about Joe Jonas because he's now embroiled in celebrity divorce controversy.
Oh, I'm not getting a divorce, so no, I'm
You've
not.
you've seen Game of Thrones though, right?
I have, yes.
Well, you know Sophie Turner.
Yes. She's,
That's
the
his
daughter.
wife?
They
Not anymore.
Was his wife.
Was his
married.
wife,
So I saw like the Joe Jonas because of the whole heads up thing where you're like, oh, one of the Jonases is getting divorced. And there's him and his wife put out statements and it's the same statement. It's very dry. But I just thought I didn't realize it was someone famous. I thought it was just some person.
Very famous.
Yeah, so she's more famous than he is. Game of Thrones and the X-Men movies. She's more famous than he is.
By
she was
name,
only
I
in,
don't
like,
know
two
that
She's
she's
Phoenix, right?
more
Yeah.
famous.
If I showed you a picture of Joe Jonas and a picture of Sophie Turner.
Well, the thing about Joe Jonas is he kind of gets overshadowed by Nick
Mm-hmm.
because Nick is like
Because Nick's the
and
star.
He's
Which
more
is
star.
wrong.
He's better
He's
looking.
Beyonce.
He
That's
acts.
stupid.
He does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
He's,
correct.
He's Michael Jackson. He's
Bad
Beyonce. He's
yeah.
of the family.
He's the guy. So
She's
it's
got under 1 million Instagram. Oh wait, that's a different story.
she has been kind of off the grid since the end of Game of Thrones. though.
She had 2 kids in the meantime.
X-Men.
That's probably what it was.
That's the most impressive part of this whole thing is how secret they've kept everything. I had no idea they had
Until
kids
now.
until now. Yeah, I had no idea they had kids.
Do we know why they're getting divorced? Is it amicable and
so-
mutual and all that?
They're talking highly
because
of
of
each
a
other.
ring camera. Yes. So basically, what's happened is Friday of last week, it got like released in like the news dump that Joe Jonas was looking for a divorce attorney, and since then, and since then,
A lawyer.
his PR team has been just I don't want to say slamming her, but putting out just some like really interesting like statements and stuff to make it seem like Sophie was a crazy partier and that Joe Jonas heard her say something or saw her do something on their ring camera that let him know the marriage was beyond repair. And today he was spotted
ring
out
camera gets every
having
time.
lunch with his kids, which he has never seen in public with his kids
Right,
before, which makes me think he called paparazzi on his own children. And it's basically been this entire like PR like push from his team to make him look amazing and her look like crap. But the TikTok girlies, they're not falling for it.
So I have a friend
They're not.
who grew up with the Jonas Brothers. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, grew up in the Jonas Brothers, went to high school with them.
How am I just hearing about this?
Well,
It's
I mean,
Frankie.
the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, first of all, it's not me. Yeah, second of all, it's my friend, and
His story to tell.
I don't know who the oldest
They're
of the
from
Jonas.
Arizona, aren't they?
No, they're from New Jersey.
Oh,
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
They were
but
born
like
in
that,
Arizona.
I've never like. I got the impression from my friend that they were just they're regular people. They're not like even back then, obviously, it was clear they were going to be stars or whatever, but they were just like regular people. So it doesn't surprise me that he's been secretive with, the family part of it. It doesn't surprise me that if there was a friction, it would be around someone who is kind of embracing fame and celebrity versus someone like him who isn't. But it does surprise me that the counter-strike is, we're going to get the paparazzi out here and let you look like a complete family man who doesn't like partying in Hollywood.
What's wild is that's been his big approach is she's a partier, like we just have different lifestyles. And the internet has gone back and found clips of Sophie Turner being like, the biggest issue in our relationship is that I'm an introvert and he loves to go out and party and do stuff like that all the time.
He's also been on tour, right?
Wow.
I'm on to this.
The internet doesn't
I need to talk to
forget.
his PR people.
Also, the fact that celebrities call the paparazzi on themselves is like honestly so embarrassing.
It's so crazy. I witnessed it one time with a celebrity and children. That I was telling Lucy about this before the show when we were recording Mystery Crate. Tom Cruise.
Okay.
I was at Blizzard Beach, the amusement park, the water park in Orlando, and right after Tom Cruise was getting divorced from Katie Holmes, he brought their daughter to the water park, and the experience was just walking through the water park, I was the camp counselor at the time, walking with the kids, making sure they're all in line, looking to my right.
Look at me, I shit you not. I didn't push it. I'm looking at Jess, but she's not doing it.
It was Roy.
It was Roy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, either way, was walking through the park and talking with one of my counselors, and I looked to my right, and some guy who looked sort of kind of familiar, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll move on, and look back to my left, and then I see the eyes of this co-counselor just get gigantic, and I'm like, what could possibly be on me right now? So I started to kind of freak out and look at what was on me, and then I looked over my right shoulder, and I realized like, oh, that's Tom Cruise. And then all of a sudden Tom Cruise and his little daughter are like slightly jogging now ahead of us because there's a security detail behind them that's making sure that no commoners, of course, say hello or do anything. But I did see that, of course, there were a couple of photographers who, for whatever reason that day, bought tickets to go to Blizzard Beach. And so they ended up at the amusement park as well to take the photos. And you see, of course, it leaks out to People magazine and wherever else in the next following days. Oh, Tom Cruise, the ultimate dad, there with his daughter at the water park with all of the common folk.
If you gave me 100 guesses which celebrity has been to Blizzard Beach in Orlando, I would have never landed on Tom Cruise.
Never.
It seems like a thing that Tom Cruise hires people to do for him.
He can rent out Blizzard Beach. Really?
He could make
Well,
his
that's
own
why, right?
actual action adventure water park and do his own stunts.
And that's the
Yeah.
point of why he called the paparazzi.
Can you imagine that heel turn? He gets into the action park business. Tom Cruise, he like designs all the rides.
Wait, this is a good idea.
Call it Cruise World.
It's not a bad
It's like Tom Brady working for Delta, right? Like,
I was like
the same.
literally just thinking of the Tom Brady thing because whoever said it on Wednesday, they were like, "When's the last time Tom Brady flew Delta?"
Delta. I think
Like,
it was,
It's probably
Philly.
been 30 years, 40 years.
No.
How old is Tom Cruise?
Team
45?
charter.
oh, you talking about Tom
No,
Cruise or Tom
Tom
Brady?
Tom Brady, I mean, yeah.
Tom Brady's 45.
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
It's
man.
probably when he was like
Tom
in
Cruise
high
is like
school.
60.
No, Tom Brady flew Delta like early in his career. Like early in his career, he was like a
So
big deal.
25 years ago.
God damn.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm old.
I was exaggerating, but then like it was a little too close to reality for it to be funny. So yeah, it's a
Now it's
long,
just
it's a
sad.
long time.
Yeah. So I
What's
have a
your
top
top five,
since we've been
Fuentes?
talking about celebrity couples. This is celebrity couples. They don't have to be married. They just have to be together for a long time. I have two OLIs. OLI number one is Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra.
This is like top 5 is in like your 5 favorites.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
like, there's no actual system behind this.
I like Priyanka.
Yeah. She's, oh boy. OLI number two, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Been together
That's a good one.
a really long time.
That is a good one.
Not
real
married,
love.
but been together for a long time.
Yeah. Shout out to the daughter. What's her name?
Kate
Kate
Hudson.
who says that Kurt Russell's like her father.
Yep.
Yeah. Number five, Will and Jada. A little controversial now.
I mean, are they together?
oh, that's a good point.
Some entanglements.
Yeah, there you go.
recently, Right?
Number four is going to be John Legend and Chrissy Teigen.
Such a weird list.
I watched him on Celebrity Family Feud the other day.
What is this list?
It's literally what I just Googled. There's nothing behind it. I just Googled
Oh, okay. Just
famous
Google it.
celebrity.
Just trying to kill the final couple minutes
Correct.
of the
Trying to,
segment.
trying to get the hell
Right.
out of here. Number three, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
I actually like that.
They're all couples too that like.
I think
if
Ryan
you
Reynolds is carrying it.
Follow
We
like
did more than two, didn't we?
celebrity gossip.
I literally
outlets,
Googled top
people
things and I just put the ones I like.
Hate
Right.
all of these couples.
Yeah. Number two, Victoria and David Beckham.
Oh
She
man,
was a pop star in the 90s.
They're-
He's like
they're-
running the MLS now.
I gotta imagine they're both boring as hell.
I feel like their relationship
I
might
feel-
get messy.
She's probably.
Oh God.
Give me a second. Not because it was bad, just because it was obvious.
get your ass up, man.
And number one, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Ta-da.
No, Dax Shepard and Kristen, what's her name?
You don't
I
Beyonce.
don't really like.
You don't like?
I'm not even gonna give you that one. I don't really like Dax Shepard.
Really?
No, I don't find him funny. I think she's funny.
Let's go to prison, man.
The
Let's
fact
go
that I
to
don't even
break.
know
Well,
what
you
that
can
is.
go. You can go to prison.
Damn it! Why stepped all over Jess's perfect exit?
What'd you say?
I said, let's
She
go.
goes,
To
let's
break.
go to prison. She goes, let's go to break.
To be honest, I don't even know who Dax Shepard is.
For real?
Is he? You said comedian?
He's a
Actor.
comedic actor, I would
Yeah.
say.
He actually started on Punk'd.
Really?
He was one of
Yeah.
Ashton's like henchmen.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the first time I remember him was he was the one delivering the bad news to Justin Timberlake about his taxes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And Timberlake was about to cry, man. He
Yeah,
was
calling
like,
his mom.
Come on, man.
And then it
Like-
came out later that he was high as shit.
Oh.
That he was
Oh.
that he had been
Justin Timberlake?
that he had
Or
been
Dax
smoking.
Shepard?
No, Justin, and he had been smoking around
Wow.
the corner. And when he showed up, that's why he called his mom and freaked out. And then after he admits it, you look at him and boy, that boy's eyes were red.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that was like 2000s weed, so like
Not
it's
that
got
great.
it's got nothing on the weed we got now.
Better
He was
strain, I
fine.
guess.
No lab grown shit now.
BJ Novak was on that show.
On
Jordan
Punk'd?
Black was on. Yeah, like these guys were all like.
But he was
the-
a guy.
Yeah, man.
Really?
Like, because nobody knew who they were at the time. That was the whole thing. Was
I didn't know that.
Andrew
Lucy,
Santino.
did you ever watch Punk?
I don't
Or
know
is
who
it
that
too
is.
old for
Wait,
you?
Andrew Santino.
It's
You know Andrew Santino.
Yeah, he's a
too
comedian
old
now.
for me.
No idea.
Yeah,
Ashton
but
Kutcher
he-
went to Iowa.
Oh, Andrew
though,
Santino
so
is
I don't know, whatever he
the
does.
guy from Dave, Mike, the ginger guy,
He's
the redhead. Yeah. Oh, you don't know?
Little Dickie's manager on the show. Yeah.
Really funny guy.
Yeah, that show's.
I love
funny.
that show.
Nah, man. I used to love that show. Punk, the
was a good
original
show.
Punk was really well done.
When before it got old, we were like, all right, yeah, we get it.
We
We
get it.
punked them. Like it was really.
It was
funny.
real because like these people were like falling hook line. The Kanye one,
Yeah.
where he was like literally like a little kid. I got your thing. I don't know. It was like it was so expository. Like that's who he is. You guys think he's this cool guy? He's not.
He's not. Yeah. Well, I remember that show made me love Stone Cold Steve Austin because the
Punk'd?
because the one he did was they were messing with him about his valet car. And then the fake manager comes over and starts giving the other actor, who was a valet
Yeah.
guy, a hard time about losing his keys.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold is like, if you don't respect that man, I'll whoop your ass. Like he's like, stop giving this man a hard time.
Oh,
He just made a
wow.
mistake. Yeah. So
Oh,
I was like,
sweet.
yo, Stone Cold, the real one. I love
Yep.
him. Yeah.
Cool.
It's
I mean, I already
crazy that
love him,
Ashton Kutcher didn't get his ass kicked more often.
Well, I mean, he was never in it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He shows up at the end.
He shows up then when it's all good news. It's hey, we're just playing.
Behind a monitor.
Yeah. Oh, good. I was about to kill this guy.
Even then, there was a MTV, and was that show on MTV or was it VH1?
No,
MTV.
MTV.
This is-
MTV had a wild, I mean, crazy lineup when I was growing up. Like
Like
I
early
grew up on
2000s
some
lineup.
of the most disturbing. Like Punk'd was probably one of the only semi-wholesome shows, even though the concept was
What were you watching?
somewhat mean-spirited.
What are some of the other MTV shows? 'Cause I'm thinking
my
like MTV
God.
back then was like Real World Road Rules Challenge.
That was
I
around the
watched-
time where it was no longer music television.
Yeah, well, you know, it's
They
now.
had already punted on that. Yeah.
Oh, wait, Teen Mom.
I watched
and,
Teen Mom. I
um,
loved Parental Control. That
dude.
show was hot garbage.
True Life.
Loved it.
True
Which one
Life.
was
True Life
Parental
was a
Control?
great-
Which
True
were
Life.
Oof.
True Life. I
watched
enjoy
that.
eating my fingernails or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Did you ever see True Life?
That's
Lisa?
on
Oh, yeah.
HBO now.
That's-
They have, I think
They
all
rebooted it?
No, I think they have like the old library on HBO.
There was some wild ones like I Eat Pottery.
I think.
Like,
yeah.
That's
like,
just My Strange Addiction.
that was a
now.
It's My Strange
now it's
Addiction.
My Strange Addiction.
But before that, and also like My Strange Addiction has like people like 45 years old. The MTV True Life was like young people, and sometimes it'd be weird stuff like I eat my fingernails out of a bowl,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's like I'm a sex worker.
yeah, or I'm a street racer.
Right,
Or
like-
like all this crazy shit.
So it was just, and it was weird to see someone like 17, 18 years old living this incredibly ridiculous, like
Yeah.
dangerous life or whatever.
What was Parental Control?
That was the one where it was very obviously scripted. But when I was in middle school, I was like, this is absolutely real. They can't lie to you on TV. It was parents would not like the person their kid is dating. So
Yeah.
they would set them up on 2 dates
Oh,
with other people.
Oh, yeah,
and
they would
then
go on
at
the
the
dates.
end, they would pick to date either one of the new people or their current boyfriend/girlfriend. But it would be one of those things where they would watch, the parents would
Yeah.
watch the date with the boyfriend, girlfriend
correct.
they don't like.
CCTV.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
and they would sit there and be like, say the most horrendous stuff to the kid, and the kid would be like, I hope you die, to the parents.
Yeah.
And we were just like, haha,
Yeah, they'd be
so
like,
funny.
looks like his parents are still married, huh, Josh? You know, and it's like, what the fuck? And then
Do you remember when my Super Sweet 16 first came out?
Yeah.
That was during my like very formative years. I think I was probably in like grade school, and it was a phenomenon.
You were younger than 16 when that came out?
Oh yeah, I was. Wait, I think the show was canceled by the time I was. No, I'm just kidding. I think it got canceled like somewhat recently. Actually, it was on for a long time, but I remember the phenomenon of like Sweet 16s becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it definitely was not a thing in my family. My parents are not like big party havers or gift givers or anything like that. But then it became like a thing where like, oh, like are other kids at school getting a big Sweet 16? It's like a whole like. I don't know. It was a bad.
You wanted to go to the party.
Bad phenomenon. No one in my school had Sweet 16s though, and
Good.
it always just was something that I watched on TV, and I was like, "Does this even happen in real life?"
That wasn't, no, I never like went to any like super Sweet 16 parties. Like that was just an MTV rich kid thing.
Sweet 16, my Super Sweet 16 ended in 2017. So
It made
not
it,
even that long ago.
It made it through the beginning of the Trump administration.
12 years on
That's
air.
remarkable.
There was also Newlyweds, which was 2 seasons, which was Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson.
Banger.
Yeah.
Banger.
Chicken
So
of
is
the
this
sea.
chicken or is
Chicken of the
this
sea.
tuna? Like what?
Jessica Simpson really got just justice for Jessica Simpson.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
She
She's
said
doing
some
all right.
stupid
Annihilated
things,
on
but
that
people
show.
treated her like she was a war criminal. They were like, "Wow, Jessica
that was
Simpson,
pre-Twitter.
what a disgusting woman. She's
Yeah.
just like a normal ass woman." People were mean to her.
The Osbournes was also on there.
That show I remember.
The Osbournes
That
was
show was
great.
also crazy.
Yeah.
I saw Ozzy Osbourne in person when that show was at its height because he sang the 7th inning stretch at a Cubs game, and it went down as like one of the worst 7th inning stretches in the history of baseball. And I happened to be where he was exiting the stadium, like as he was leaving, and I saw him and Sharon Osbourne. And it was like the first time I ever saw a famous person in real life, and it blew my mind. I think I was probably like 8.
How old is Ozzy now?
That's a good question.
Some of the most psycho behavior I've ever witnessed in my life is my mom's ringtone was Crazy Train.
Amazing.
It was insane.
Was it always third
So your
down
mom
or
was cool.
something?
Yeah, like we would just be there at like a doctor's like appointment or something, and then you'd hear like bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. It was insane. It would be like the yelling part. I hated it.
Do you remember the Hulk Hogan show?
The what?
The Hulk Hogan show? Was that VH1?
Oh,
that
yes.
was-
Hogan
that was
Knows Best.
VH1.
Yeah.
That was
That was VH1. Hogan Knows Best is VH1.
Was that what it was? Hogan Knows
Yeah.
Best? Yeah.
What about? Do you guys ever watch Cribs?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
Chris
Cribs.
Latt.
That was
it.
another one. I was like, I've never. Houses like this aren't real.
Oh,
They
Exactly.
rented out
These
the
are
houses.
the kind of people that have Sweet 16.
Favorite Cribs episode? Red Man, because he lived in like this crappy like
Shitty apartment in Staten Island.
in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
It was- yeah.
Let
And
me
it's
show you
like,
my refrigerator. There ain't nothing in there.
he had the shoebox on top of the fridge with all the money in it. It was like he opened his Nike shoebox and it was just nothing but cash.
Yeah.
But it was like a crappy kitchen, a crappy part. But then the basement was kind of nice. But they were doing that. They were installing
wiring.
the track lighting themselves, and they stopped midway through. He had a guy passed out on the couch.
Yeah, and then he had like his doorbell didn't exist. So
Oh,
he's
you
like, you
had
gotta
to-
rub these
two
wires
wires
together and I'll come
together,
get
yeah.
you. Yeah.
VH1
awesome.
and MTV were very like parallel, but they were also extremely different, and I never have been able to articulate how.
Well, originally VH1 was like adult contemporary. It was supposed to be MTV is like all the kids are
Teenage
listening to
and
this.
tweens and
VH1
stuff, yeah.
is like, I'm a grown person. I want to listen to Peebo Bryson's video or whatever, right?
No, that's BET.
No, VH1 was like they would mix in stuff like that, right?
Wow.
So then here's the deal though, like
Quality.
as like, you know, corporate America, we got to get money and like no one cares about its niche or whatever. It started turning into these weird reality shows. And so VH1 had Flavor of Love,
Oh yeah, I watched
Rock
that show.
of Love,
Shot at Love with Tila Tequila.
Shot at Love with
I
Tila.
Love New
No,
York.
that was MTV. Shot at Love was MTV.
Was it?
Because Tila Tequila was an MTV person.
Can we not act like they're not the same company?
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Like they're very different,
Yeah.
Hey, Viacom.
but it's hard to explain how or like describe how.
What was the house where they all the originally where the Brigitte Nielsen and Flavor Flav love started?
Dude, that
It
was
it was like this house of misfit toys.
yeah,
or whatever.
it was.
It was at like
Hold on, I'll find it.
It's
I'll
bad
find it.
taste in
No,
men.
and it had Eric Estrada.
Is that the
one
It
that,
had-
like, Vern
and it had
Troyer
like
was
Vern
on?
Troyer
Yes.
was on it.
What?
Shit, what was
Surreal
the name of that
Life.
show?
Surreal Life, yeah.
Oh, what a show!
It was a great show.
Fantastic. And then they came with all like I love the '90s, I love the '80s.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
I
decade
I would
perspective,
rewatch
yeah.
those now because those shows explain pop culture, or at least explained at the time to me pop culture things that
No.
I would never have read about or like
Michael Ian
seen
Black.
Yep.
Yeah.
anywhere else. Yeah.
That's what I would
wonder if they
watch
hold
when I
up.
was like sick from
Yes.
Daylight Stay and just
Always
watch
on.
like 12 hours straight of that.
After
Yeah.
Jerry Springer, you turn over.
Or
on
like-
that.
Now, do you guys are you guys the post Springer
Yeah.
generation?
Yeah.
Lucy,
Dude,
maybe.
you don't know.
I
You
just see
don't.
TikToks.
You guys don't know.
I remember when it was Donahue before he switched over.
Wait, no, because the show wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
So he was doing like a regular talk show, like, what do you think about like whatever? And then people were like, no, we want like salacious storylines. So then it turned into like stuff like where the guy has a confession that says like, I've been meaning to tell you this for a while, but I'm black. And she's like, you're black?
Yeah.
I can't believe you kept this a secret. And it's like clearly a black guy. It'd be like me.
I slept with your Nazi stepfather.
Oh,
or something like that.
yeah.
They would just get more and more extreme, and there was always a fight. And whenever like the shit would go down, it would switch off camera to someone in the audience going, "Oh!" And you hear just a bunch
Jerry,
of shit.
Jerry, and then
Steve
my guy
gets
Steve
up.
Wilkos would get in there and break the shit up, man.
And then Steve got a show.
Yeah, Steve did get his own show.
Yeah.
Well, I went to a taping of Maury. I've
Maury.
talked about it
Ooh.
a little bit on the show before because like Maury was in its heyday when I was growing up, and Springer had kind of already been like it wasn't really
Relegated
a
to
thing anymore.
daytime
It had
only.
evolved into more like the Springer concept had evolved into Maury.
Yep.
And Maury was all about like paternity tests and lie detector tests.
Paternity test, lie detector test. And one of my proudest things I ever did at ESPN was we did, Vlade Divac had made some comments, and I was like, yo, we're going to
Vlade, you are not the father.
We're going to know. I did the lie detector test. In the case of you said the lie detector test revealed that also was a lie. And we had like the stage hands and like the camera people in the background going, oh! and then I had the glasses. I crossed my legs. I had the little folder and everything. I love Maury.
His whole delivery was fantastic.
Everything.
Yeah.
And when they start to fight, you know what he would do? He would always say, we don't do that here. Distancing himself from what?
Jerry
Springer.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
Because Maury's dad was like a famous sports writer.
Yeah.
He
Shirley.
tried to come.
Shirley Povich.
Yeah, Shirley Povich. He tried to. I think his whole thing was like, I'm a more journalism-y version of Jerry Springer. But it was still a very strange show, and I was probably too young to be watching it at the time.
Well, Maury started at what? A Current Affair? I believe that show. That's way too old for you, too.
In the case of 2-year-old DeQuante, Mark, you are not the father.
And then the guy's fucking pumping, yeah!
Yeah, in your face!
Yeah,
In your face!
yeah!
And then the other
In your
part
face.
is the girl has to take off.
Exactly.
Yeah, she has to cry off stage.
Yeah, and then Maury like lets her take the abuse for like a good 10 minutes. Camera's right up in her grill. You can see that she's not really crying.
And then hold on. And then Maury would be like, we're going to get you help. We're going to find out. He's always positive. I loved it.
And then he starts talking shit to the boyfriend. Now, you know, the problem with this is this young man still doesn't have a father. You know, and we're going to help you find that
he would
out.
always make them feel bad.
Yeah, he'd make the guy feel bad for being a
victory
piece
lap.
of shit.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, we're going to find this. His kid still doesn't have a father. And then they'd bring her back like a month later and be like, we've tested 9 men. You know, and then
I am
tested 9 men.
I'm 1,000% Maury that he's the father. And then that guy
that
turns out-
either.
and she does the whole thing again. Oh my God. If you didn't watch Maury, man, were you even alive?
That's what I watched when I was homesick. I would watch Maury, and then Lucy might not have been alive, but I'd watch Maury, and then I Love the 2000s or I Love the 90s or whatever. And yeah, that's why I'm as made the way that I am. But
Those are like cultural like icon shows. Like MTV gave us Jersey Shore.
No.
Gave us Jackass.
Oh
like
my
we still
God.
make jokes about that though. Like Jackass just made their like 15th movie.
They're still doing Jersey Shore.
That's what I'm saying. And then they had
Family
the
reunion.
Yeah,
family
exactly.
vacation.
Sweetheart Sammy's back.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Isn't she?
She was welcome to Cinephobe. She was gone for a while. She was gone for a long minute. Like she wasn't doing all those new shows.
What's Cinephobe?
I'm glad you asked. Is it that fun? The show? We plug in?
We're getting close.
not yet.
Okay.
I do want to bring up my thing that I
I'm out of breath.
wanted to tell you guys earlier, which is that I got mashed. I got a house call, and I got
Genesis?
mashed by Genesis like 5 days ago, and she like actually mashed me to death.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
I felt as though I had died and my soul
Look
had
at a
left
ghost.
my body.
You know what you just discovered? Genesis on on a show day is not the same as Genesis solo.
No.
Show day, it's like you're 15, 20 minutes and then you gotta go because we gotta turn this around for someone else. Where she's got the hour and it's like man, no.
I wish someone had warned me. I wish I had drinking a Pedialyte before because I will tell you, I didn't think a massage. I can't even call it a massage. It hurt so bad. Chris Whittingham, may he rest in wherever he is, texted me yesterday and said he was getting mashed this week too. I hope I'm not revealing too much, but it's fine because he's not listening.
Yeah.
And I warned him. I said, Chris, trust me. You're not ready to get mashed for an hour.
Was that his first time on a solo?
Correct. And he texted me today and he is in a tremendous amount of pain.
But it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of pain it is. Like so much that you almost want to pass out. But then when she's done, you get this like full body head to toe relief.
My shoulders have never been this far away from my ears in my whole life. I told Genesis, I was like, I wouldn't call this a massage so much as it was an exorcism. But I will say it wrecked my weekend because I couldn't move for like 4 days. My Labor Day weekend was wrecked.
Lucy hasn't gotten one yet.
I'm kind of scared.
No, when Genesis comes to the studio, it's like, it means right. It's like a car wash. You're in and out.
Yeah.
I mean, it still hurts. Yeah.
Let's
not
You
front.
get scratches on the car, maybe a little dent.
And then you wake up with some new bruises you didn't know you could get.
Yeah.
But you feel fantastic.
Okay.
I'm just warning anyone, if you're getting a mashing house call, I highly recommend it. But drink some electrolytes first. And you've been warned.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't matter how much you drink, man. Like there's pain coming and it's never ending. Like there's a point during every single session where I'm like, is this ever gonna end? Like it's never gonna end.
What's the most painful for you? The hamstrings for me almost hurt so bad that it tickles.
I would say
that is such a good call. The tickling
part. It hurts so bad that I'm like,
because she has a way of like turning her foot. She turns her foot sideways.
Yes.
And her foot has muscles that no one knows exist. And she just like rams that shit into your leg. And then it's literally like a thick hockey stick just getting rammed into the back of your hamstring. And like she said, you get this initial pain and then it almost tickles.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the weirdest feeling.
This is what I'll say. I would say the stuff on the back hurts, but it feels good. The stuff that really hurts and I don't feel well until after it's all over is anything on the front side.
Yes.
Right here between the shoulder and the chest, the pec right there.
Oh yeah.
The bicep right there when she gets in there because it's not as dense. I feel like these places are not as dense as like the back muscles or even the hamstrings.
Last time she did my bicep, I legit thought I was gonna pass out. It was brutal. It's so bad.
Now, have you guys ever gotten mashed by Al?
No,
Roy,
I've only heard legends of Al.
Al's the head.
So Al is
never.
like the master, and Genesis technically is the apprentice,
the master masher.
Like I one time, and he had like a staff. You know that long.
Like
it's around here somewhere. Yeah,
I don't know what Al looks like, but I'm literally picturing like a wizard.
Al is like this really ripped black dude. Like probably Roy. Is he about your height?
No, I think I'm taller than he is.
Man, maybe
I'm picturing Dan's height. He's like 6'6".
Just like muscles on muscles.
Yeah.
And yes, muscles got muscles.
He's Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob.
Oh man, he's something else, man. I had one time. He
mashed you?
One time. That was how I discovered it. I was like, what the,
Had a staff.
And then it was like, yeah, he had this staff. Like, you know how Genesis uses the walker? He's got this staff. Like, it's
Lee walked into the kitchen and saw Genesis with a walker, like, stepping on my back. And my dog was like, didn't know what was going on. So she laid down next to me and was just like, she knew I was in pain. She just laid by me and gave me support while I was getting mashed. And Lee walked in and he was like,
dog's supposed to protect you, man.
Yeah, I would have thought the dog was going to start.
Well, he did. She did at first. She was like, whoa, what's going on? She barked at Genesis a little. And I was like, it's okay. I'm paying for her to step on my back with her foot.
I'm back in the MTV hole now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's 40 shows you forgot existed.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Guy Code.
Yeah,
Guy Code was a good one.
And Girl Code.
Guy Code and Girl Code was a spin-off.
It's familiar.
Yeah, Girl Code. It was really short-lived, only 2 seasons, but it was basically like stuff in the world about like how to do your hair. But it was like these raunchy female comics and stuff, and they would give you like.
But it was also stuff like dating, like when's the appropriate time to text someone after you got their number.
Yeah, it says here. Girl Code, which was commentary on all things related to female sex from waxing to frenemies. Comedians and personalities shared their witty and sometimes bad advice with viewers.
Ah, I remember that show.
Yeah.
I
no
remember-
rocking
Did
jock.
you guys watch Next?
Okay, next was hilarious because like when the guys would come out and say the corny line.
My favorite was like the person that would be like this long lead up, like they get off the bus, they like walk over, they sit down, and then the girl would be like, next, and he'd be like, oh, like
I
he didn't even say a
down.
word. He literally just sits down.
Yeah,
like,
she just saw him
"Next."
right away, judged everything. Then he'd go back to the bus and get like dunked on by every guy in there.
What was the one where they were like, it was kind of like parental control, but it was like 3 guys and then 2 guys would be on the bus watching the other date.
Buddy. Oh no, I'm thinking Room Raiders.
Oh, Room Raiders is another
Yeah.
good one.
Room
Room Raiders is one where they were dating based on like what
they
your
find in
room
the
looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a dating show?
Maybe I'm thinking about Room Raiders. To
No,
be honest with
Room
you.
Raiders goes. You get kidnapped from your house,
Yeah.
brought to a viewing booth with 2 other boys or girls, and watching someone go through your room before deciding if they wanted to go on a date with you or not.
Like they never met the
But
person. They just like searched
Just
their
based
room.
on their room, and there was always
I
like a
remember-
black
no,
light for the guys.
I remember
and
that
there's
one.
semen everywhere.
And or pee
Wow.
or blood.
Jeez.
I guess you hope
Britney
that it's
Spears over
pee.
here.
I remember thinking.
Why
You
do you
hope
hope
that
it's
it's pee?
Why do you hope it's pee?
I kind of feel like semen would be a better
No.
like than pee.
I don't want somebody who wets their bed.
I don't want someone that just doesn't clean up after
I
themselves.
think either way, you're
just masturbating
Everywhere.
all over their room and they just like leave it there.
Oh.
I think you have to hope for urine.
You're hoping
I'm
for
sorry,
urine.
am I wrong? I'd love to hear what the audience thinks.
Stain
Please
the
let
coffee.
me know.
I guess
urine, blood, or
Which one do you
semen.
hope
Which
for?
one do you hope is in your significant other's
Well, like
room?
if it's blood, now you got to question like whose blood is this, right? I guess you could say that same question to everything, but blood seems to be the
Semen.
whose semen is this? Like Josh was here yesterday.
I never understood, like, if you're submitting yourself for Room Raiders, why don't you just clean your room the day that you send that application in and get rid of all your incriminating shit?
Because we're talking about like 18-year-old boys, man. Like even with that knowledge, armed with that knowledge, they're
You're
still
right.
like, "Oh, I'll do it later." Like, "Oh shit, they're here." Well,
Yeah, the camera guy's just perfectly positioned every time. Yeah. Date my mom.
Oh, I remember Date My Mom.
You go on a date with
I
the
don't-
mom, and the mom would decide, like, go tell
Oh.
the girl.
God,
the girl
all
would-
these shows were so deeply problematic in so many ways.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club, 2019.
yeah, I remember that
I
one.
remember that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Let me see. True Life, we already went over.
Maid, you skipped over Maid. Remember what
Wait, which one was made?
the one where you get the job, they get like a
Yes.
and do the job for a day and then realize they don't want to do it or whatever.
Had
right?
10 years, 13 seasons.
Yeah,
That's
Maid
crazy.
was a good one.
TRL, classic. Road Rules.
Road,
You didn't like Road Rules?
I was a real world person. Road
Yeah.
Rules to me was
Did
always
you watch The Challenge?
No, I
Mm.
just
I watched it during COVID for 1 year because I was quarantining with someone who was like a challenge. He was like a Billy Gill level challenge aficionado. And I will say, in a year where there were not many sports happening, it was good competition reality TV.
Here's what I don't understand. The challenge is originally the real world people against Road Rules
Yeah.
people. But at some point, both of those shows ceased to exist. Who's been on the challenge all these years?
I
Keep
think
bringing
it's,
back the same people.
it's like the same people. My favorite
Are they like
episodes.
45 now?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, some
that's-
of them are
yes.
really old.
Yes.
So my favorite episodes are the ones where they like will inexplicably do like a quiz or like a trivia thing, and it's like the contestants like dangling over like a lake in some sort of swing or some sort of like thing, and if they get the question wrong, they like fall in, and the questions will be like, "What's 2 + 2?" And they're like, 5! Ah! And then they'll like fall in. It's like the absolute dumbest shit you've ever seen, but it's so funny. And then the other, like, one day will be like trivia, and it'll be like ridiculously easy trivia questions. The next day it's like, you have to run to a tank with a bomb strapped to your back and complete this puzzle before the bomb detonates. And then you have to swim underwater for 16 miles and make it to the other side of the island where you'll find the only thing you're allowed to eat for 4 days. And if you lose, all your friends and family will die. And it's like, what?
Whoa.
Who is producing the show?
Read
Like,
the fine
why are
print
they
on
so intense?
Here's another one. Making the Band.
Oh
my
the
God.
band.
I never watched Making
You
the
never
Band.
watched Making
I
the
think
Band?
that was
that-
before my time. a
The
little
5
bit.
hottest rappers.
That's
in
the one with
game,
Diddy.
right?
I remember
That's
like
That's what you really remember.
I remember the
Dylan,
satire of
Dylan.
Making the Band more than I remember the actual.
The show, believe it
Making
or
the
not,
Band.
was crazier than the satire.
Really?
It was
Yeah,
insane.
They were. And then like did anybody come out of that?
Actually
Dylan.
became
Yeah.
a star.
Yeah.
Ness had like
one album.
You doing your taxes, Ness? That's what's hot on the streets.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna do it for Mystery Crate.
Roy, what do you got?
All right, Montgomery and Company. The hype squad for the Atlanta Dream has been revamped, so she talks to the choreographers that she just hired. And because Miami, we have Dave Williamson in the studio. He's the co-host, and we have Ron Miguel to talk about the new water park at Zoo Miami.
Ooh, go look and Smitty. Check it out. We have Ryan Annie on this week. We also have a new episode of DNF recapping the Italian Grand Prix with Spencer Hall.
Follow Le Batard Show on social media. I'm going to college football games.
And follow Lucy.
Not this week, though.
Not this week.
No.
And the
I gotta watch
segment,
I gotta watch
college football
Elastico.
segment that we still have not.
Oh, yeah.
named.
And we have a college football segment that doesn't have a name, and it's not going to get one because you guys are kind of weird.
And I mean,
Yeah, Oddball on YouTube and on the DKN Network, and also Cinephobe. Harlem Nights is the movie of the week.
what's Cinephobe?
Cinephobe is a podcast where Zach Harper and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, try to ascertain whether they're accurately rated or maybe didn't get a fair shake. It's Cinephobe. It's produced by Anthony Mays. You get it wherever you get podcasts, and there's also the Rotten Tomatoes scandal, but we don't talk about that.
Right.
These episodes were taped months ago.
Yeah. Timeline got fucked up.
Is
We
brutal,
did talk about it
man.
on the show this week, though.
I know. Yeah, you can go find that. Roy, take it away.
Okay, goodbye.
Expert timing.
Nice.